rise above it all. Stand tall with the challenge we face. We stand proud and chase. Aim high. Aim high. From every setback, we find strength to attack. Oh yeah. Rise up, rise up, rise up. We gonna climb up the top. Rise up, elevate and never stop. Claim it. Rise up, claim it. We light the spark within. We gon' win, yeah.
Hi, we're Bruce.
And Cheryl,
We moved from California to get away from the hustle
and bustle,
of a fast-paced lifestyle
and a not-so-perfect political climate,
to enjoy a slower speed
better values,
and a rich Christian atmosphere. Join us as we discover our new environment, rebuild our new-to-us home on 2.5 acres,
and enjoy the scenic southern landscape of central western Georgia.
Morning, Penelope. Bye, Penelope.
Bacon bitch! You think they know their names?
I have no idea.
Probably not. I don't know.
So good morning or good afternoon. Well, not afternoon. It's late morning. It's 11:51. And I did not start videoing this morning because I had to prepare some things for delivery that we got today. So not a lot has changed since yesterday. I did some mudding, basically. Let me just turn this thing around and show you. So I did a little bit of mudding on the ceiling. I did 2 long seams and 2 butt joints there. I started a long seam here, and I did a little work above the cabinet, and then I redid some of this right here. I recoated this wall up here. I did 2 seams on that side of the center. Oh, I re-skimmed out most of that wall right there. So I got to do some sanding on that. And I did some touch up in the bedroom here. And it wasn't a lot, it was minor. I finished off that lower section of wall right there. So I've got to come back in here and basically sand the areas that I did some work on, and then see where the areas are that need to be touched up. And I should be receiving my 2 lowers that are missing. These guys right here, and my 30-inch bridge, which isn't installed because I don't have it. And I can't do my 36 over the refrigerator till I get the 30. So those should be coming. But in preparation for delivery today, that's what I was doing, because we have our first exterior door, our slider. And that is so cool. I can't even begin to tell you how excited we are. We finally have an exterior door for the building. I want to get the front door and I want to get it installed. Problem is, the front patio deck's going. I'm not keeping that for a couple of reasons. One is it's way too small for a front porch. It has no cover over it. And I want a front patio. I want a deck off the front of the house. So I am going to continue working on the ceiling mud. Try to get this far enough along so that I can get it textured. I know that's a big job, and the walls I'll hit and miss here and there as I'm going along, but I got to concentrate my effort on the ceiling to get this ceiling textured so we can get it primed and painted. We've got our ceiling paint, And I want to paint the ceiling in the bedroom here too, but I'd really like to get my walls all floated out and primed before I paint the ceiling. So anyway, I will, as usual, make every effort to set up a camera and film some of the stuff going on. Boy. Good afternoon, y'all. This morning we went to Home Depot, had to get some parts, get some things so we can get caught up on some of the little issues that we needed to do. And I didn't start filming, of course, this morning. Go figure, right? But let me show you the little bit of progress and update we've done. So I know if you're looking at this, you're thinking, well, what kind of progress is that? I don't see anything different. Well, I've cleaned up all of these boxes right here. And I went in and made up all the wires because I got 2 utility circuits in the kitchen. I didn't clean up that box, my bad. I got 2 utility circuits in the kitchen and I wanted to get them working because we went and got our cut-in boxes and I went ahead and got installed our electrical in the island and got the end panels on that needed to be done. So, both end panels complete. And electrical on both ends. Each one of these is a different utility circuit. So that I believe is utility 1. That's utility 2, which also goes under, crosses over, and it comes up right in there. And that'll be part of the coffee bar. Coffee bar is sitting over here at the moment with the pantry, but you can see that it's skinned. Pantry skinned on the left side all the way, on the right side partially, and on the right side of this lower is skinned. So when I put these two together, the left-hand side here goes to the right-hand side of the pantry over there, and they go over on the wall here, but I need to do a little sanding before I put them in there. In the meantime, I'm getting ready to skin this cabinet, and that cabinet goes right over here, but I can't permanently install it yet because I need my 2 9-inch bases. And I think I mentioned before that I couldn't do the rest of my uppers because I needed a 30-inch bridge, and I was waiting on those 2 9-inch bases because they were out of stock. Well, they came back into stock, they're ordered, and I believe they'll be here on next Friday, on the 6th. So it's basically 1 week from today. So speaking of being Friday and tomorrow being Saturday, tomorrow was supposed to be an expensive and unexpected day, but because we got rain, I don't know if you can see it rained a good portion of the day yesterday and a little bit the night before. So we've had not non-stop constant rain, but we've had enough rain to stop the project. So I found out the other day when I was cleaning the black tank on the RV, which is tied into the septic system on this property. 1 year ago, our septic tank overflowed. You know, I don't know how much had been, you know, how long it had been since the septic system had been cleaned out, and maybe it was full of solids and it was just enough for the months that we were here, putting on top of that we over inundated it. So I contacted a septic company, had them come out, they opened up the vault, he cleaned it out and said that there really wasn't a whole lot of solids in there, it was mostly liquid. You probably don't have an active or working leach field. Either this guy's trying to take me for an idiot and I'm going to wind up spending money I don't need to spend, and he gave me a price tag of over $7,000 to do it, and I was like, we'll hold off. So the other day, cleaning out the black tank on the third dump, that I noticed that I was getting a lot of that sewage smell and wondering why my vents weren't working properly. Went underneath the house to check and make sure I didn't leave something open. I didn't. Then I came in the house, was working, and I smelled it where the kitchen window was open, and I smelled it really heavy again. I'm like, what is going on? Stuck my head out the back window and noticed that it was overflowing. Needless to say, we had to call up a friend of ours who directed us to a family member. We called him up, had him come out and look at it, and he says, yeah, if it's overflowing and it's been, you know, I gave him the rundown of the property and all that. He says, no, he says, your leach field isn't working. You need a new leach field. He gave me a $5,200 price tag. Still not great news, but better than 7. So we were scheduled to do it tomorrow on Saturday, as long as it didn't rain. We got rain. So it's going to be put off till who knows when now, but we do have to put in a new leach field and fix the septic. And they're probably going to have to just suck it out again, because I don't imagine that they're going to want to start tying on new leach field onto a full tank. I wouldn't. Nonetheless, that's where we are. I just wanted to give you an update, but we got our sliding glass door, and I'm hoping that within the next couple of weeks, I can get that installed. That's also a big milestone. That's going to be great. It'll also increase the lighting in here. But on top of that, because right now the only thing, let me show you here. I'm going to walk here so you can see behind me. So that opening right there that's just kind of framed in with some paneling, that's the Georgia Pacific force field, right? That's all that's between me and the outdoor elements is a piece of 1/2-inch OSB. Well, it's actually, be honest with you, if I'm touching this, because it's pretty cold outside right now, this is not that cold. So thermally, it's holding fairly good, but over the night, it's just the heat loss through this wall is substantial. So once we get that door in there, we won't have that kind of heat loss because it's dual pane glass. We got a nice one. We got a pretty decent slider. It's got the blinds inside between the glass. You can raise the blind up or drop the blind down. You can open and close it. It's pretty sweet. So on top of that, yesterday, I went into the bathroom in here and I plasticed off the tub after sanding. And I sanded this room complete. And then I skimmed it all out again. Other than this section of wall right here, because I still have to skim out, you know, from here down. But we're doing wainscot in here, so I don't need to do the lower portion of this room at all. So everything up above, I still have to skim out above the shower. I need to paint RedGuard on all of that before I skim it out a final coat. RedGuard it, let it dry, skim over top of the RedGuard with a light skim, and then I can primer this room. I think the ceiling's probably there. After I sand it, I'll know better. And I think we're pretty close that we can go ahead and come in here and primer this bathroom. So that's one thing that I got done. The other thing is I came in here and I sanded this room. So it's sanded from this corner right here, there, all the way across this wall, all the way across this wall, and then up to about here on this wall. So I just have to finish the rest of this wall right here. and then this window wall. And I've got a sand right in here, some minor areas, and then I can go through with my flashlight and look and see what needs to be skimmed out. After one more skim coat and a minor sand in here, then this room's ready to primer, and then we can paint the ceiling, and then come through and cut in the walls. This wall is an accent wall, and I believe we bought the accent paint. Now that I say that, I'm wondering, did we buy the blue? Yes, we did. So we've got the accent paint, so we can paint that accent wall. We've got 5 gallons of the body paint, so all the rest of the walls in here can be done. Got 5 gallons of ceiling paint, so the ceiling can be done. We got the ceiling fan for this room. I've got all my switches and plugs, so I can finish out this room other than the floor and the doors, because I'm still not sure if I want to go trying to put flooring in partial and have to be walking back and forth over top of the raw edges that are exposed. Because if I chip a corner or something on the flooring, that just won't be good. So that brings you up to date with where we're at. I know the drywall phase, anybody that's ever done drywall, they know that the drywall phase is always a long one. So good morning. So actually, for a change, it is morning. It's not even 8 o'clock, or just rounding close to 8 o'clock this morning. And we got some stuff going on here. It's kind of exciting. As I'm saying that though, take a look behind me. I got some more of the floor coated and ready. All I got to do is sand that section and then, put the sealer on it. And then that just leaves this last front section right here. And once that's done, basically all the floor has been coated with that sealer. But there are some areas that I'm going to go back over, especially in the master bedroom, because I didn't do the grinding that I needed to do on the seams. So other than that, there's a very strong possibility that today we will, or I may start installing floor in the guest bedroom. And let me show you. So I got a little cover here over the doorway. And as you can see, there's a couple of areas where I did the painting on this wall in here that I had to come back and touch up. There were goobers on the wall, and I scraped them off, and I came back over and touched up those spots with a little bit of drywall mud. And then there was one issue down here by that outlet box where the tape did not adhere. There wasn't enough mud behind it, so I'm having to fill that in, sand it off, and repaint it. But I did get in here and I got the accent wall painted, which it is pretty bold, but Cheryl loves it, and that's all that matters. I also got ceiling fan installed, the lights installed, light switches are installed, so you can actually turn on and off lights from the switch. I got the breaker off right now, so it's not doing anything at the moment. There's outlets in, except for that one, because I've got that repair to do, but switches are in the wall, plugs are on. It's not a great big room. But I've also gone around and touched up some of the floor areas, and I'll probably touch up some more areas before I start installing the floor. And I'm going to get materials so that we can start the door jambs and build the doors for the closet. I got to get some baseboard. We're going to just do Coronado base in the closet. And if we get the floor installed in here, then I can go ahead and start installing baseboard. I'm going to build the window casing around the windows and all that. So this room will get done pretty much complete. So let's slip back out of here. Back in the main part of the house. I will have to clean out this room and get in here and get the drywall mudding done, and the bathroom. Bathroom will become the next main priority because it's closest to being done. And if I get that done, it just means that we can kind of get the bathroom closed up and buttoned up as well. But I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do the flooring yet into the bathroom, but we'll cross that bridge. So let's go around back, take a look, and see what's going on out here. while we're waiting for Cheryl to get ready so we can go to Home Depot and get materials. Come out here and take a look at what's going on. So, and you're going to be running right around by your truck over there, right? Okay, because I've got so this gas tank that's right here, it's actually moving over into the tree line over there, and I've got to run a gas line across to the house. So, like 18 inches or whatever. Okay, that's what I was planning on doing, about 18 to 20 inches, because I don't imagine anybody be digging back there without my consent. So. All right, good deal. Now, do you have to expose the whole tank lid? Sorry about that. Kind of a shitty job, huh? When all of this is done, we got an active sewer system again. And we can start doing a little bit of landscape out there in the backyard, start moving stuff around, trying to clean it up. They're helping get some things done by doing what they're doing. So that's how the morning's starting. Like I said, we're going to run to Home Depot and go pick up some materials, and maybe we'll take you along with us on that journey. All right, sorry guys, we didn't take you to Home Depot with us. Well, we took you, but we didn't film anything. We're back from Home Depot, and we got all of our stuff we needed. We got enough material. Dang it. Stupid garage door, man. We got enough material to build the 2 closet doors and make the jamb material for the bedroom. But basically, we can get started on the floor today if we have enough time. But I've also got enough material to do the countertops. Well, at least the sub portion of the countertops. We got some Coronado base for the for the closets as well. Second, I want to go back and see how things are going with this. See the progress. So does that other portion come all the way out here the same?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So they're about 110 each?
Yeah.
Well, there you have it. It's going to be a much better system. It's going to actually work. And we won't have any problems with a system as big as that. Because the old style systems, they had those 4-inch pipes that were in a gravel bed and all that. And there's only so much volume. These things here, these chambers at 220 feet, with a chamber that big, it'll handle a, dare I say, a crap ton of water. No pun intended. Well, actually, pun intended. Anyway, so I'm gonna put you down, and then I'm gonna get this thing unloaded here. We can do this one-handed. Maybe not. Oh, hang on. Oh, it's getting crazy. Getting crazy. Whoo! Woo. All right, all right, all right. So there's the material for the doors. I'll make 2 3-foot wide doors and the jamb for the closet and enough jamb to do the bedroom door jamb, but no door. So once I get the plywood on the island here, it'll define the size of the island top, which would be wonderful. And right now it's like, I've got a 48-inch wide piece of plywood, and I think I want to go wider than 48, which means I'm going to have to do I'm going to bind a secondary strip onto it. Because as I look at this, where 48 comes to, I don't know, maybe 48's enough, but I was thinking 52. And to get that means I got to go 4 extra inches. Do I do that 4-inch strip on that end? Well, I guess I would have to, because you wouldn't want that. You want the piece that's cantilevering over to be solid. So I'll put a 4-inch strip across here and then run the rest of the sheet out. I'll have to put some temporary posts on the corner and then determine whether or not later on we put some actual posts for those corners. But I got a cabinet that I got to build to the back side of this island that will make up the finished back side. But I should sheet off the back side of that with something. So maybe I'll get some masonite board and back that with masonite and then put the shelving unit. I think that's what I probably should have got that today. 4x8 sheet of that should be plenty. Gonna be just under 7 feet when it's all said and done. So yeah, a 4x8 sheet of masonite will do perfect for that. And should be able to, with the 3 sheets of plywood I got, should be able to do all of my sub base for the countertops and the island, plus the bar. We'll see. I wanted to say I had a piece left over from what I used it for to begin with. I'm trying to remember what I used it for to begin with. What did I need that 3/4 plywood for? Oh, yeah. I stripped it up to make the header across here. So I think there was another strip left over. I don't know where it's at or how wide or anything. That piece was left over. I don't know what I did with it, but I know there was a strip left over. I need to find that. Figure out if I can use it. That might be what I need to make that 4-inch strip on the bar top. I don't know, we'll see. All right. Well, I'm gonna get some other stuff taken care of and then we'll come back in. So much stuff. Around here. So, now we're going to go buy a nice and clean one. Alright, I think I'm going to have to turn that circuit back on. As I do believe I turned it off. That's what y'all wanted to look at, my booty, right? I knew it. I knew that's what y'all wanted. Okay. Turning on the circuit. Should be it. Why are you flashing? You're telling me something. What are you telling me? 1 minute left. All right. Inch and 5/8. Inch and 5/8. But half of inch and 5/8 is what? Good morning. Well, afternoon. It's 12:20. So I didn't start filming this morning. I had both the cameras were full, needed to download all the image and stuff. I don't know if I've shown you guys this image in the backyard, but that's what we look like now that the leach field is in, it's all graded down. I think it looks pretty good. There's Sonny. Say hello, Sonny. Yeah, I gotta go in the house myself and eat lunch, so let me just take you guys on a little tour, show you what we've been working on. I think I might have shown something about doors. I was building doors. So there's one of the 2 closet doors. Yeah, focus on that. There you go. That's one of the 2 closet doors. That's the back side. Here's the back side of the other door. I've already got it filled in with Bondo, sanded off, and cut down 3 of the directions that need to be done. Now I have to square the door up, which is what I'm working on here, and then cut off the length. And then this door will be ready to prime. Well, I got to flip it over, sand the other side, and then it'll be ready to prime. And of course, I've shown you guys the room. I don't know if I showed it with the rug in here, but we got ourselves an 8x8 area rug. Really nice. Got my jamb in for my doors, and it's been primed 1 coat. Touched up the paint where I had some issues, fixed up my my cut-in lines. What am I going to do, right? All I know is when this is all said and done, this is really going to be a nice house. Even though it is humbly only 1,400 square feet, maybe 1,450 with a laundry room. But it's all mine, cash money, don't owe anybody anything for it. That's the good thing, debt free. Let me show you what everything's starting to look like. It's starting to green up a little bit. starting anyway. And I've got a lot of work to do out here to level off the high spots, pick up all the roots that got tore out, and then pick up all the limbs. Like that guy right there that's kind of hanging down right here, that guy fell or broke off during a windstorm, and it was sticking in his way, so he had to knock some of the front of it off so that he could get in here with the bulldozer. And he had another one over here on this pine tree. So we got to get those things, you know, pulled out and cut up and burned. But for the most part, it ain't so bad. Little soft, it'll all settle in once the rains are done and we get enough wind and warmth. Trying to get everything done so I can get moving here. I swear. Good morning. Well, it's another lovely day in Georgia, and I can honestly say that we're making some progress now, primarily because I finally made the decision to reach out for help. And I mean beyond just asking for my son to help, which he made a valiant effort, bringing over all his level 5 drywall tools and giving me a day, helping me do some of the taping. And he left me all the tools, the level 5 tools for doing the boxing and all that. Not a fan of those tools because I haven't worked with them enough. And so I tried one day and it was just too much work for one person. He's got a crew of guys when he does it to help clean up and to help keep things moving, keep things out of the way, and you know, all that's needed. But for one man, it just wasn't working. So I did what I could do. Y'all have seen, you know, I mean, I've got a good amount of drywall mud on the walls. There's a lot of sanding left to do. I started sanding right behind me here. I did this alcove, and then I did all of this, you know, the ceiling in the alcove, and then along here. I got to that back corner. I think I spent probably about 4 or 5 hours and was done. I couldn't, my arms, my back, my neck couldn't handle it. And I'm like, this is just too much for one person. I don't have the tools. I don't have the skills really. I say I don't have the skills. I got the skills. I got the ability to do it. I just don't have the doing it every day skills, you know, knowing the corners to cut, the techniques to use, and I don't have the tools. Well, I had the tools here, but as an individual person doing it with those boxes, it's just too messy, too much work. The corner tool, I didn't know how to operate it. I'd never used one before. I didn't know how to even put it together. I wasn't interested in even trying. It's my fault for not even trying, but all of this to say, I broke down and hired a drywall contractor to finish the walls, to do the finish. So the ceiling is getting textured. It's a Mediterranean knockdown, and then all the walls smooth coat. He gave me a pretty decent price. Because it's proper etiquette, I won't discuss the price, but it was, my initial reaction was that's too much, but when I told my wife how much he wanted, she's like, that's all? Yeah. It's her money too, and if she's okay with spending that amount of money, because this whole room needs to be done, closet and all, the bathroom is pretty much done, although as you look behind me, you see where I red guarded the ceiling and the walls above the shower. I got one coat, and there's obviously areas that were missed in that, so they're gonna sand that and finish coating that out as well, feathering that into the room. The rest of the room, they barely have to do a little bit of sanding, and I don't know, if it were me, if I'm doing the ceiling flat, that section right there that didn't get any mud, I would cover that. We'll see. They're the experts, so they know what I want. They know what I need. I came and I covered some of the cabinets with plastic. I left them a box of painter's plastic, and they can plastic the rest off. Hang on, let me show you something that I built. So it's kind of hard to see that through the plastic. I mean, you can pretty much, but I built a cabinet. It's 12 inches deep. So you can see the marriage line between the island cabinet and the cabinet that I built. It's basically a bookshelf underneath the overhang of the countertop. And it's not top notch. I've done better cabinetry work, but it's decent. Once I get it married up against that, so I basically backed the back side of the island cabinets with a piece of masonite, glued it on just like you do the panels. I even finished off this one here too. I don't know if I showed you, but I finished off that end panel, did that last night. And obviously, you can see that we've put our pre-countertop, which is our base, 3/4 inch base. And even this one's done. There's a 4-inch strip on it right now. The rest of the 48 inch is for the overhang. So that piece is already cut and ready. I've got my steel insert rods for structure, strength, and I just have to get some adhesive. I'm glad I said that because I need to add that to my list. I need a couple of tubes of construction adhesive that bonds wood and metal. But anyway, so the cabinet, I've got the masonite glued on the back side of the cabinet, the island cabinets, and then I built the shelf, and it hasn't been attached yet. There's a cleat right up there that I can screw it to the cabinet once I'm ready. And then of course I've got my holes in there so that I've got adjustable shelves. I'll probably only put one shelf on either side. I still have to build the shelf. So that is done. I'm getting enough window stool and materials to do the windows. You saw already how I boxed out the windows in that one bedroom that I completed. man, there's so much more to show you all, but things are getting exciting because pretty soon we can start, like I said, painting the walls. And once the walls are painted, well, finish, I can get the electrical outlets in, put the switches on, I can put my light on, and then I'm hanging some of the artwork because there's a few paintings that, well, we pulled all our paintings out. They're in the room. There's a few pieces I want to get on the wall right away, just to get them up out of the way, and I want to see how that light's going to look on that one painting. My Napa Valley Memories too. I'm excited to see that one. So anyway, I'm getting enough materials today so that I can build these cabinets here. I'm not going to bother with the lower ones right now. The lower cabinets I don't really need right now, so I'm just going to leave them closed in, and I'll just open up those holes when I'm ready to put the cabinets in. But yeah, no, this is getting really exciting. We're getting there. Then the next effort, the next concentration is going to be out here in the garage. And I just have to put a few things away. Well, good morning. And it is a good morning because if you look behind me, look at the ceiling, look at the walls, you can see that we're all mudded out. And not just in here, which you've already seen the bathroom is pretty much already done, right? But that got skimmed out again. It just needs to be sanded. But then this bedroom also, sorry for the noise of the fan, we're trying to dry it out because this all just got done yesterday. It just needs to dry out now. Tomorrow, the guys will be back here to sand. So once they come tomorrow and blow the texture on the ceilings, and then they sand everything, there might be a little bit of minor skimming. And if they use the 20-minute mud or the 45-minute mud or whatever, skim it out and sand it the same day, then this place will be ready. We could be primering everything, and I'm gonna primer with a gun. We're shooting the primer. I went ahead and bought a spray rig because this is a lot of rolling, and I know my arms and shoulders won't last all of this, and I know certainly Cheryl can't, so it'll go on much smoother, much cleaner with a spray. It also means that I'll be putting in that sliding glass door here pretty soon. That is super exciting, guys. You don't even know how excited we are for all this. It's coming along. We're starting to see the vision come to reality. Of course, then I have to go out this door and see the rest of this room, but even at that, I got a little bit done out here. Take a look at this. I did a little bit of mudding on the exterior. I don't know if I showed that, but I did a little bit of drywalling up in there to get things started. The rest of the ceiling I can't really do till I get this other wall in, but I did get some of the ceiling done in here and got some walls done. Not done, but started. But I got some taping on. I'm taping out the closet, so I've only got a few more seams to do in here. The verticals on all four corners, I have to still cut tape for it. And I got two horizontals on the ceiling. And then I've got a little butt right there and that butt joint right there to do. That paper's already cut and ready. So, yeah. Got to cut out that hole, but basically all the inside of that water closet has been taped and is ready for mud. And I've got one more electrical line to run. I got to get power from the switch in the bathroom from the backside here, I can go up, over, and down to where I have power going into the switch leg, or the switch box rather, in this wall, this vanity wall. I can pull that wire and have it strung like these guys, hanging ready. Progress, my friends, big progress. Got all my boxes finally, or my boxes, my can boxes, can light boxes set for in here. And I do have one more other thing before I can drywall this wall. I've got that box down there. I've got to pull wire from it, so that, I don't know if you can see it behind the paper in there, or the plastic, but it's got to go up, over, and down to the box over here that hasn't been set either. And then I can start hanging drywall on that wall, at least the lower stuff. So we're going to be taking measurements of the countertop areas. Cheryl's going to go this afternoon probably to this place about 30 minutes away from us to get a quote on the countertops for granite. I was going to do stone coat countertops, but she's really leery of that, and I could just see it in her face that she's afraid to do that. I'll probably do something out in my shop so I can learn how to do that, and then maybe in the future, I don't know. She just doesn't want it. I'm not going to argue with her. She wants to spend the money on countertops, we'll do it. So, all right. I'll check back with you guys when the next piece of progress happens.